Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest. That's right, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your host. Man, it's the second week in a row that the host is glitched. What is happening? Anyway, I am J.B. Michaels, USA Today best-selling author of many, many books. Joined here by my wife, Ashley.
Oh, hello.
Hello. This is the 108th podcast of the Magic in the Midwest. And we are here to talk about things we love. And one of those things is theme parks and Disney World and Universal and lots of fun to be had for all. So we're excited to be here with you another year. We started this podcast in the year 2020, which means that it will be almost 3 years coming up that we have been doing the Magic in the Midwest podcast. I believe we started in March of 2020.
We did. So,
like right at the end of March. So this is crazy, you guys. It's been 3 years of this. This is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. That's pretty cool. And by the way, our podcast is brought to you by MrMichaels.com, M-I-S-T-E-R, Michaels.com, where you can find out about the many books of JB, including the best-selling, most popular series, the Mac and Millie Mystery Cozy Mystery Murder Mystery series. The latest of which is Raftery's Ghost, which just came out in September. So I'm very excited to have that book rolling, and people seem to be enjoying it. And it was, lots of fun to write and come up with. And then, of course, we have a subscription model as well, Magic in the Midwest Podcast.bandcamp.com, where you could get way more content for like a couple, like $2 or $3 a month or something like that. Very, very easy to access that content. And then, of course, we have met a lot of great people through the podcast. It's been 3 years, so I mean, geez, it just keeps, we'll just keep on rolling here. And one of that, what is that face? Ashley's making a very strange face. One of those people that we love and we want you guys to check out online. And obviously, if you need to, if you like what we're talking about and you want to go experience these things yourself, and you haven't yet, please reach out to Emily at Magical Mouse Travel. That's right, Emily at Magical Mouse Travel. She will be able to help you plan your trip. She'll get you, ADRs, which are, according to the Disney fan community, ADRs are, what are they?
Advanced dining reservations.
Advanced dining reservations.
So it's a quiz?
It is a quiz. So yeah, she'll get you ADRs. She's got great social media feeds on Mini Ears and Butterbeers on Instagram and Facebook. And so Emily at Magical Mouse Travel, please reach out to her and she'll know everything. She'll get on the phone for you and make sure that you get all the experiences and tickets and park reservations and everything that you need through Disney. So also, like, there's another cool thing that Emily does is, she'll add little extra, bits of magic of her own. So we're not going to talk about what those are specifically, but it's just, you're getting a lot of great value with Emily, and it costs nothing else. It doesn't cost you any more to, book your vacation through Emily.
Yes.
So, so this is 108 podcasts.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we have like over 50 Bandcamp exclusives, so we've got a lot of those as well. So we have a lot of content for you guys. We're very excited. One day we'll get our act together and have like a video version of this. But that would require Ashley to not look the way that she does right now. So that would be a lot of...
This is how I would look at it. I think when I get done for that.
Just kidding.
look
try to wake you up, Yeah. Yes. So
it is a goal. It's just work's been crazy for both of us, and we have to have the time and the energy to figure it out. So maybe it'll be a 2023 goal.
yes. Yeah, it could be a 20. We could try.
Well, my biggest thing is we could do it probably pretty soon. I just don't want this to be the background. Like, I don't want it at a kitchen
Yeah, we have to
table.
figure it
Like,
out.
I want it to be a little bit more profesh looking. Even if
Profesh.
we have to build, maybe we could build like temporary or like corner pieces of wood like this.
Yeah.
Like partitions
Partitions.
that we use.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure it out. We'll make a little studio that we
Where
could.
is that going to fit? Where is our?
Well, no, it would be a studio we could take down
Where
and
would
put
it go?
back up. I don't know, right here or up there in that big room.
Yeah.
Okay, so we thought we would talk about. We talked about last time. We talked about things to look forward to in Disney in 2023, which is of course is Tron and everything, the 50th kind of going away. Which I'll be honest with you guys, I was not really impressed with the way Disney handled Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration. I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was. They did open a lot of cool attractions. I'll give them that. But as far as the actual celebrations were concerned, it was very lackluster to me. Didn't people just? I mean, let's face it. Their Disney had a backdoor switch. You know what I mean? They said that these experiences are temporary, like Enchantment and Harmonious. People just don't like those shows.
But also, thank goodness, because
Right. People don't like those shows. And if they did like them, they would have kept them forever.
oh, so you're trying to say they said like it's
Yeah.
temporary because they weren't going over.
Yes. Yeah. I think that, no, they didn't say that at first.
Yeah.
They didn't say that it was going to be temporary at first, but then when the people started getting the track of, I'm sorry, but like Judy Hopps is a featured character in Disney Enchantment. I mean, Judy Hopps, you've got literally a library of amazing characters, and that's one of the characters here. It's just, it didn't go over well for people.
Well, I don't feel like it was celebrating. I mean, think about what you're
it
doing.
had nothing
though.
to
Like,
do with
I
the
don't really
50th.
have a problem with Judy Hopps, but I mean, like, what you're focusing on should be the 50th anniversary of Disney World. So shouldn't
Yes.
we be celebrating?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it was too. It's blatant that they're
It was-
very character based and come on.
It was marketing that they had thought, okay, well, let's do this and see if that sticks, and we'll encourage people to buy Disney Plus to watch all of this stuff. And it didn't land. And if it was going to be temporary, it would have been a special 50th celebration of the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a temporary thing. Calling it a 50th thing, you know what I mean, would have been better.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They called it Disney Enchantment, which is generic. You know what I mean? Like, that could be beyond the 50th. And that was their intention.
You can see you getting really riled
But
up.
it didn't happen
All
because the people have spoken.
Wrap it up.
Go Disney fans. Anyway, so
Those shows were garbage.
yes. So I don't
Sorry.
think
if
so.
you
Harmonious,
disagree, good for you.
Harmonious is going away,
Good.
and a refreshed Happily Ever
Do you
After.
think they're
is
gonna get rid
coming
of the
back.
barges? That's what I don't really care about the show. I mean, I do. I think the show should be something completely different because it's Epcot. So like, get your head out of your A, guys. Come on.
It'd be cool if they.
But I mean, the barges are such an eyesore.
It
Like,
is
get them
like
out of there.
the serenity of the World Showcase Lagoon is definitely disrupted by the giant.
Well,
Harmonious
that
barges.
and I think the nature of having those involved in a nighttime show means that there's. I mean, the nice thing about what was the show called before? I can't remember.
Illuminations.
You could be anywhere in the World Showcase and have a
Yeah.
great view.
Yes.
And I think that is the part that's missing. Like, I don't want everyone,
Yeah.
They need to get back to that. And if you have the barges and the water and
Right.
that's, now we're not doing that anymore. So get those out of there.
Yes.
Gaudy metal ridiculousness.
Right.
I don't care if the guy that did it is offended. He should be.
Right.
F. Failure.
So
I'm sure he's listening.
So I mean,
failure.
Illuminations before that they would actually the globe would come out like from an area, and at night they would move the globe out that was in the middle. These just stay there all day. And it's funny. I was sitting with Harrison over at Universal Studios Florida, and I was sitting there. We were in the Simpsons spot, right at Duff's Beer, and him and I went and got a pretzel and got pop and stuff. I didn't get a beer, and we just sat on the lagoon, in Universal Studios Florida, and it was very pretty because it was just this nice body of water and the views of Transformers and San Francisco and used to be Amityville, but now it's Diagon Alley but in King's Cross Station, sorry. So it was pretty just sitting there, and I was thinking about at Epcot, this was one of the things that you would do at Epcot, but you can't really now because of the big barges, and they still have a show. They have the jets underneath the lagoon, to shoot the water up and project onto it. So, it'll be interesting to see, the decision on the barges. You're right. I didn't think about that because if they're getting rid of Harmonious, will the barges stay or go? That's a really good point. I don't know. They spent a lot of money on them.
I know.
So,
I know. They'll probably stay. It's a huge eyesore. I'm not someone that kind of goes on and on about stuff like that, but it's annoying to look at those things.
Yeah.
It really takes away during the day from that whole view.
It does. It really does. So,
and if you don't think so, you're wrong. But
I feel like they say that they're supposed to have water jets for fountains during the day. Are those ever on?
I mean, we've never seen them on.
I've never actually seen them on, but maybe they are on, and we just don't realize it or something. I don't know. I mean, that would make it a little better, but still, I don't know. But, interesting indeed. Epcot is still undergoing its transformation. Most of Future World, of course, is still under construction walls and things like that. Although, Journey of Water, Moana, is supposed to open up, this year as well at Epcot. So it's, it's interesting that the 50th is going away. The 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, I guess, is what they're going to be focusing on next for the theme of, of the next year or whatever, the year and a half. Interesting choices made during an era that people will probably want to forget. The Chapek era, which is now over, and Iger's back. But, Iger's back, you guys, but not a lot has changed yet. Theme park reservations are still there. As far as for the parks themselves, we're still operating under the same things. Mm-hmm.
Maybe just how you feel is different.
Right.
It's basically the same.
Right. So, yeah. Yeah. So it's an interesting. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
So,
more could change, like you said, and I expect it to, but I'll be surprised if it's really.
I wonder if summer 2023, Iger will roll back park reservations and stuff. So, we'll see. I mean, maybe that'll happen, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, what the interesting thing is, it's what is the staffing still a problem, and that's why they need it?
Well, he announced too that he wasn't going to bring back anyone else. They weren't going to be doing all.
There's a hiring freeze right now. Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest thing, if I had to pick one thing for them to fix, I don't care about park reservations as much as I care about Genie Plus. They need to get that figured out. no one's experience with that, outside of them not understanding how to use it, should be like going up to an attraction and the Genie Plus Lightning Lane is 90 minutes and the standby line is 0.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
They need to figure out, put some sort
Yeah.
of cap on how many people get it or what, or just take it away and go back to the way it was before. But,
Yeah.
you know, I would be pretty ticked if that was happening. I don't think that we should have so many people upset in the parks that we now have to have, you know, cast members there in blue shirts that are stationed there to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's been the last few years.
Yes.
They gotta get that figured out.
Yeah. So it's interesting today. We since we're going there in a couple of weeks here, Ash and I looked today on to see how much GD Plus was today, and today it's $17, which is closer to the standard price that it has been, which is like 15, right, or 14.
Yes, and it was like 15.
It was 15 at first. So which means that means obviously that the winter break, Christmas break crowds are depleting, right? Because a lot of school districts go back to school tomorrow. Some have already been back, but the big major holiday rush is over at this point, and now G Plus's price is back down. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting, and I wonder too. I wonder how it was this. Like, I wish you talk to our friend Hot Takes with Kate, and see how her experience was with GD Plus
in the parks.
in the
They're
parks.
so busy.
Yeah, when it's that busy.
I mean, the ride wait times were crazy,
Yes.
as you would expect
Yeah.
at this time.
Right.
That
So we'll have to ask her. I know she did go to Magic Kingdom, which is the prime place to use GD Plus. So we'll see. And I feel like we're gonna say, Ash and I are gonna say we're not gonna do GD Plus in the other parks, but we probably will anyway.
I plan on it. I was already planning on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think you were.
See, okay, well, here's the difference between JB and I. I will pay for convenience. That's something that I think is worth it, because I think time is money. Other people don't care. I'm not against waiting in lines. I think it's fine. But because there's an option like this, I would pick to pay for Genie Plus over, say, a park hopper. That becomes to more value for me. Just sort of like, I like seeing the Contemporary or Bay Lake.
Because it's close.
Right. Boardwalk, you can walk into Epcot and Hollywood
Studios.
Studios. So those types of things are things that I will pay for. I will pay for things like that.
Yeah.
Going to Hollywood and Vine, and then having like a preferred seating at Fantasmic, sign me up.
Right.
Makes it easier.
Right.
I'll pay to play, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Okay.
For things like that.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, yes, that's an interesting point. We're staying at Boardwalk, and and even where the Boardwalk villas are, it's closer to Hollywood Studios. Like, it's actually, like, it's kind of awesome. So,
Which, I mean, this all plays into, if you've listened for a while, you know that was my biggest hiccup with Wilderness Lodge. You really don't have...
now she said she doesn't care about that.
But I mean, that's how amazing it is that I'm willing to forego that.
Yes.
Yes. Because I can just stay in the room.
Yeah. And I did tell my sister again, who owns at Copper Creek, that I was like, but she's owns at Copper Creek, but she's never actually been there. And I was like,
it's hard for them to book out.
It is. But I was like, you have got to do it. You've got to try to do it. It's so great.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely a different experience than Boulder Ridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, so wow, we're going to talk about a lot about Universal 2023, but we've talked a lot about housekeeping over at WD Dubs. But that's because we're amped up because we're going very soon. But some interesting things we just thought we would mention, right? That Harmonious is going away, and so is Enchantment, and they're going to be replaced, and it'll be interesting to see what the choices are. One more cool thing about Epcot and some of the merch is they have a Sam the Eagle sipper, which just looks amazing. So
you guys, how many times I've heard about Sam the Eagle sipper?
It just is so funny. It makes me laugh looking at it. So anyway, you get that over at the barbecue joint over at American Adventure. Sorry. Okay. Now, let's get on over to the other set of theme parks, which are making some big moves, you guys. This is getting more interesting. The closer we get to Epic Universe, things are going to get more exciting for us to talk about, because let's just talk about the first thing that came out just this week. I think yesterday. No, on Friday.
A couple days ago, yeah.
Friday, they broke news that Universal is going to have a train line going from Orlando International Airport right to Epic Universe property. So that is huge. That is huge news.
Yeah.
That basically gives people a very convenient, affordable way to get from the airport right to Epic Universe property. And from Epic Universe's property, I'm sure Universal will make it very easy for you to get to wherever you need to go. So if you need to go over to Dockside or Royal Peck or Hard Rock, they will make it very simple for you, is my guess.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm thinking it'll be like a hub. The station will be sort of like a hub.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a hub?
A hub. A hub, like Chicago was. And it still is, in some ways. Sorry, history.
Are you sorry?
No, I'm not. So it'll be very interesting now that Disney has gotten rid of Magical Express. Okay? There's no real easy way to get to Disney World from the airport. I mean, you just have to either hop in a cab, get a lift, or take one of the Mears shuttles, which people aren't super thrilled with. So it's like, it's a lot harder to get from there. It used to be super easy and free to get to Disney with the Magical Express. It was amazing. Now, it is not the case. So now Universal in 2025 has made a deal with, I think it's Sunbelt Railway or something, some train company, railroad company, to basically make it so it's so simple and easy to do. And that will, like, what did you just say before we started talking about this? You'll pay to play. You'll pay for convenience. You like convenience. You'll go for convenience over a lot of other things.
Let me reiterate, though. I think my stance has shifted, right? I think Disney used to provide a lot of value, like Magical Express being included that's huge. It's free. Fast passes being included when you stay on property, great. Extra magic hours that were actually extra magic hours, not 30 minutes of pretend two attractions are open.
Right.
To me, I didn't really need all those other things because value was added within the cost of everything. It was included. Now that's not the case. So my mind shift is different now. Now I want to pay to play to get the same experience I got before. And I'm going to do that.
Right. Yeah. Yes. I mean, because they're forcing you to do that, but yes.
No, they're not, but I don't want my experience to change, so I'll pay for it.
A lot of people
can't or won't do that, and that's fine.
Right.
Those are the things that
A lot of people want Fast Pass to come back and get rid of GD Plus completely.
Well, that's fine, but right now that's not an option, so I'm going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I mean, you'll have to pay to get on the train, but it won't be, the fare will not be, I'm sure it won't be
For
as
me,
expensive.
it'll come down to how often it's there and all that. Like, I'm not on board with waiting 3 hours in the airport.
I don't think that. No,
I'm just saying. I would rather, if it's that and then I have to go somewhere else to get to my hotel, at some point, it's better to just grab a cab for $45 and drive directly to where I need to go.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting point. I don't know. To me, I mean, for you and I, it's different. But if you're like a young family or like a group of 20-year-olds going to Universal,
I mean, totally. I'm definitely gonna try it. It'll be interesting to get the details of it, though. To see what their plan is.
Right. No, it's detailed in the article that came out. I mean, it basically is. I mean, it's going to be other parts of Florida too that are all going to be connected via this railway as well. But I mean, if Universal wants people to get on their property, get to Epic Universe proper, and then kind of like a I'm envisioning it being like because Disney was going to maybe do this with Disney Springs. So it's, because it has to be where it's going to be send people to a spot, but then disperse them from that spot. So
there's too many different spots to go.
Right. So it would be like, because originally there was talks years ago about a high-speed rail going from Orlando International to Disney Springs, and then everybody could just get to their resort from Disney Springs.
And the kicker for that, I think, is like having to take your luggage with you and figure out all the logistics of the train, then to the bus stop at Disney Springs.
Right.
And the other thing to note, maybe they talked about this in the article, is I think a lot of people loved Magical Express, not only because it was free, but because it was, once you got off the plane, you were like, you're done
ready
to think.
Yes.
Like
your bags were even
right. You just go
picked
where
up
you
by
need
Disney.
to go. You wait in the line. They tell you which line to go in. Done.
Yeah.
If the train, like when you're making your Universal bookings and stuff, if that's like an option that's taken care for you,
Yeah.
then like if that's like something you can select when you're on the site, I think that'll be a huge perk for people.
Yeah.
I think right now the whole Mears thing is an issue because it's like not only is it separate, but you have to go figure out all of that yourself.
It's funny.
When I'm getting in and all this stuff, like, if it's something that is available to you as an option on the Universal website, that'll be super great.
It was interesting. Hot Takes with Kate said that some of the Mears buses still had the Magical Express wraps on them.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Isn't that
about
interesting?
I think they know that people, are using it for that reason. I'm just surprised. I think that certain families it probably appeals to if you have a bigger family or whatever. But for me, the price of that and all that, I don't really understand why you would wait around and go to a few different resorts if you could pay the same price or actually much less to just go directly where you need to go.
Yeah.
Again, outside of certain accommodations, which are different, for some people, but
right. So it'll be interesting, and according to some other people, our friends, that people think Magical Express will come back at some point. So they've got a couple years. So if they want to try and I wonder too if Universal will even give people vouchers if they get some package to go to Epic Universe. Like a voucher to get on the train to get there free to get to their Epic Universe
hotel. They're in a really
hotel.
Good position to make some good
It really is.
Choices here.
Yeah, I mean it's a wild the next few years in the theme park world are going to be exciting, not only because of the different announcements we'll be getting for Epic Universe, but also Disney always has some sort of counterpunch, to try and combat.
Well, they do, and I feel like sometimes they don't, and it's because they know they don't need to.
True,
my issue, transportation at Disney World, I am not super happy with at the moment. If you're on the monorail, you're on the monorail. If the boats can be fine depending on where you are.
Yes.
The boat from
Boardwalk
to
is
Epcot
bad.
is like, we'll get ready to spend 2 hours going in a giant triangle. Like, it's so stupid.
It is really bad.
And the buses, they've
really
just
bad.
sort of given up on. I think they want you to be discouraged and to
Take
take
a
a
minivan.
lift or a minivan, and that's what people are doing.
Maybe
and
we should. I want to do a minivan this next time.
that sort of
Just for fun.
You're creaking the chair when you
I'm
leave.
sorry. Oh my gosh, my butt. Okay.
But I feel like they've given up on that because I know when we would go 10 years ago, we wouldn't even stop at other hotels. We would go from the hotel we were at to the park, back to the hotel, back to the park. It wasn't like pick up at this hotel, pick up at this hotel, unless they were right next to each other.
Yes.
And now
Yeah.
it's sort of like get out there 2 hours before, and even then, they do not
We
have
could
that.
actually. What we could do? We could actually take the Skyliner to Studios
I would do it only in January.
just once, and because they're going to actually shut down the Skyliners right after we leave for maintenance. So we should do it.
I guess.
I
don't.
we could try it. We'll try it once. We'll do it one way. Maybe when we come back.
Maybe on the way back.
Yeah. Look at. She always I suggest things and she usually rebuffs, but then later she does
it's not
come
my
around.
fault if all of your suggestions are dumb.
No, they're not. They're great.
Well, the thing about the Skyliner breaking down is I feel like it doesn't happen a lot, but if you're up, you're just stuck then.
Right.
A bus, you can just get off of the bus.
Right. and onto another bus. So so the Epic Universe train announcement is, I mean, man, it's a to me it's a really big perk. And I mean, there's so many cool marketing things you could do with that, and free vouchers to get on the train. Like, I mean, I just feel like it opens up just a great amount of possibilities for people. Of course, there'll still be people who just will bypass that and just get a lift and just go directly to wherever they want to go. But for people that it just gives you more options, which is great.
Well, the fact that they've built out in their parks, like where you come in, like whole sections for lifts and ride sharing, means that they're sort of promoting it.
Oh yeah. Well, they get a cut.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It benefits them if you get discouraged by the buses and take the lift.
Yes. And other big Universal news, and this is Universal news that is exclusive to 2023. The Kid Zone on my parents' anniversary, January 15th. What a great day that was. Without that day, I wouldn't be here. It was like Back to the Future type stuff.
Okay.
It was very cold.
I feel like neutral about it.
Really cold, January 15th, 1972. Really cold. But anyway.
How about you not being here? I could go.
Oh my gosh,
I would
stop
be fine,
it.
probably.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're talking about my family? Anyway.
Just you specifically.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Lovely.
I'm just kidding.
So, they're shutting down big swaths of the Kid Zone. So, like Woody Woodpecker's...
Big what?
Swaths.
Yes.
So that Woody Woodpecker's Woody Woodwhack.
Okay.
Whoa, sorry. Anyway,
This is why we can't. No.
They're shutting down Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster. Mm-hmm. That's going away. Curious George Goes to Town Playground is going away. Fievel's Playland's going away. The DreamWorks meet and greet area is going away, which used to be Barney, is now all going away. I think we talked about that, the past, but that's happening like really soon. But E.T. is staying, you guys. SpongeBob SquarePants is staying, and the kids' pizza place is staying, and Animal Actors is staying. But it'll be interesting to see what they replace it with. Some speculation is Pokemon. People are hoping. People want Kung Fu Panda. I don't think that's...
When you say people, I think you mean you.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think I've heard anyone else.
And then some people say they might clone The Secret Life of Pets Dark Ride from Universal Studios Hollywood and put it in there. Again, another Illumination property, but Illumination is getting like an entire dedicated land, which is our next update in Universal Studios Florida, which is Villain Con Minion Blast. Yes. Where, again, it's going to be taking the place of Shrek 4D. And, gosh, your teeth are so little.
No, it's because you have horse teeth.
Yeah, but you have little tiny...
No, my teeth are normal.
You have like Critters teeth from that 80s movie, Critters.
Thank you.
Yeah. But anyway, so... Shout out to Horror Nights. Anyway, which I think that they did a take on Critters in the one that was like... man. Remember the one that was like all campy movies, horror movies, in the place where Bug Hole was? Remember that one? Gosh, I can't remember that one, but you'll remember if I go in more detail. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Off topic.
It really does.
So, Villain Con Minion Blast, Illumination is where Shrek 4D used to be. It's going to be all minions. It's going to be a new attraction called Villain Con Minion Blast, which is really a blaster type attraction, which is very similar to Men in Black and Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin, and Spider-Man over in Disneyland California Adventure. Not super sure how... I'm sure it'll be really fun. But what does this tell you, Ash? Do you think there might be something else happening in the park?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I was really only half paying attention. So
What do you
if you have a
think?
theory, go ahead and say it.
My theory is Men in Black alien attacks days are numbered.
You think so?
Yeah.
The line's always pretty long, regardless of it being really stupid.
I. Oh my gosh. Man, some people love that ride. Some people love
Stop
it.
moving around in that chair.
Sorry. So, what do you think, Ash? Are you excited about Villain Con Minion Blast?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be cool. I think anything would be an improvement over that stupid Shrek show because it's dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
I just hope that they do it right. I know that the Minion ride is always really busy, but I mean, to me, it's like another phoned in attraction. Like, the video is, like, it's not great. It's okay. I know kids love
You're
it.
talking
and
about
that's
Minion
fine.
Mayhem.
Minion Mayhem, yeah, the Minion ride,
Despicable
whatever.
Me,
Yeah.
Minion Mayhem, yeah.
I mean, the queue is really cool, and it has potential, but they could have... I feel like everything they do with rides like that, like Jimmy Fallon, it's like somehow turns into like a roller coaster, and like in Simpsons, like all...
Oh my God, they do the same
all
gags.
the same ride.
Over and over again. Yeah.
You know, and I just feel like with something that's so popular, like, do your due diligence.
One thing I do give Men in Black is that there's not a lot of screens. Men in Black is pretty much
and look,
practical
it's like an
effects.
empty warehouse, so practical, but...
The bomb is ready. Yeah,
and it's terrible.
so it is a lot of practical, aliens popping up and stuff, which I'm guessing that Minion Blast will be a lot like Toy Story Mania. It'll be a lot of screens. I feel like it'll be more screen based, per usual, Universal style.
What will you be shooting at?
The villains,
There's
I
not
guess.
that many villains.
I don't think we'll be shooting Minions. I think we'll be
No, I
shooting
don't think that.
the other villains at the Villain Con. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is coming summer 2023, and Universal does churn out attractions fairly quickly, Fast and Furious. And
And then they suck because they do that.
so
I really just
and there's
don't
gonna
want
be
them to do that.
There's going to be the Minions attraction, and then there's going to be a cafe dedicated to the Minions as well.
Okay.
So this entire area is basically like when you walk in and you hear Back to the Future and you see the Universal Studios store, you see Beverly Wilshire Hollywood Boulevard on your right. You keep walking, and you're going to just be Minion overload. It's just going
And
to
I
be.
think Minions are great. They're beloved. I think it's a good choice. I just hope that they don't phone it in.
Yeah, make
Per
it a
the
great
huge-
attraction.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could probably count how many of the most recent attractions are super great. Hagrid's. I would say Velocicoaster is pretty good.
It's fantastic.
And then what exactly?
Jurassic Park Riv.
Yeah, that's not recent.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're right. You meant recent. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they like Jimmy Fallon. That ride is the dumbest ride. Now Harrison loved it, and I get it because he's a kid. But that is so stupid. Like, I mean,
Wow, hot takes with Ash. She doesn't
and
like.
if you like it, you are stupid.
Oh,
No. I mean, but it's terrible. It's terrible. It is.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
I'm not like on the ride having a terrible time. I'm laughing because of how awful it is. It's just terrible.
The Tonight Rider.
It's the worst. And like, you have Jimmy Fallon. I mean, it's just not a great idea for a ride. I came up with a better idea for a ride while we were standing there.
Yeah. What was that?
Remember how I said they should go through like old, like, attractions that have gone away, or like
Yes,
Universal, like
yes.
going through certain parts of
That
Jaws
would be
or
neat.
whatever, and he
That
could
would be
sort
neat.
of be like the Tonight Rider. It's like this very weird
Yeah.
race through New York, and we're in this like weird
It's
bungee giant chair. Like, it's just so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So that's the big attraction coming to Universal Orlando in 2023. There's nothing else is announced. So there's no Islands attraction. There's no
Well, that's fine. I feel like they are focusing a lot of energy on Epic Universe, and I really hope that they do something super great with How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
If they do not take advantage of that,
they will. They'll do something great.
I don't even care if they copy Flight of Passage.
Apparently, there's going to be
they should.
another dueling coaster over at Epic Universe as well.
Oh, that's probably going to be what it is.
Maybe it'll be Toothless, yeah. A coaster rather than Flight of Passage type thing. And you said you were like, just clone Flight of
Passage. I don't think that, I mean, I remember Dueling Dragons and I went on it. I feel like it's one of those coasters that the concept is really cool, but when you're on that ride, unless you're in the very front row, you really have no concept of the other coaster. It's kind of like, and the coaster to me was just okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really hope they don't do that, but they probably will.
Right.
I mean, unless it's awesome, like a Hagrid's type coaster, or that would be cool if you combine something like just those ones where you're under the track and you can't see anything unless you're in the front.
Yeah,
I think it's sort of wasted.
Yeah,
creativity.
It is. That's a really good. I like that, wasted creativity.
Thank you.
Very good. So it will be. You're right. Most of their, it's great that Universal is making the effort, right, and gonna give us a new attraction, right. So when we head over to Horror Nights, hopefully Villain Con, Minion Blast will be ready for us. Well, it will be. So it's interesting. And then, of course, I don't think what other things might be coming in 2023 Universal. We do know one house. We know that Child's Play Chucky is going to have a dedicated house in. They announced that way back.
Have you been watching that TV show?
No.
No?
I think it's on Peacock.
I mean, we watched the first couple, and I just couldn't.
No, couldn't go there.
Well.
Oh yeah, there is a How to Train Your Dragon coaster. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a Donkey Kong coaster for the Super Nintendo part. Yeah, so it looks like Toothless will be coaster based.
Okay, it better be a cool coaster.
Right. I'm sure it will be. And of course, remember that there is an in-park hotel at Epic Universe. Sort of like Disney's Grand Californian, which is basically in California Adventure.
I want to stay there.
Right.
Get out your checkbook, honey.
Whoa. Yeah, exactly. Book it, buy it, do it. When can we book? Probably soon. Yeah, so it looks, it'll be interesting. And then, of course, what else is coming? I think those are like the biggest, that's the biggest news for as far as like a new attraction coming this year to Universal. It is, according to Universal, this is what they say in their press release. The interactive blaster game experience will combine innovative screen technology, surprise, state-of-the-art gaming interactivity, and elaborate physical sets to create a unique game-based adventure. So, pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure it will be an absolute awesome, fun time, wacky, wild fun. So, but I do think that Men in Black maybe those days are numbered for Men in Black. Yeah. I mean, because Men in Black is not even a Universal property. They have to, Sony and Universal.
I mean, it's a big space that they could use for something else.
Yeah, I wonder what they would use it for. An expansion of Harry Potter.
Probably.
Or maybe not. Maybe they'll do what you're saying. Maybe they'll do a Universal Studios Florida classic.
That would be awesome.
Attraction, and combine all of those.
See, I still think Jimmy Fallon, replace the Jimmy Fallon ride with that, but keep Jimmy Fallon, have him almost get eaten by Jaws, and it'd be cool to have him be involved.
Yeah, that would have been much better. Kind of like his character in the Jurassic World.
Yes,
movie.
Exactly.
Like he was part of Jurassic World.
Yes.
Great.
See?
You're so amazing.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So it's going to be really really fun. Again, 2023 in both parks. So just recap, will be Tron opening up in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom, which is just going to make like that. I'm worried about the congestion of that area. Like Space Mountain is still eminently popular to this day.
Yeah, but
And
it holds,
Tron is right there next to it.
It'll be okay. I think if any land can handle it, it's
Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Tron is opening this year, and then of course Villain Con Minion Blast. And this is all in preparation for the big one, 2025. So it's going to be interesting, you guys. But please, again, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen, Deezer, wherever you listen. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Check out Emily over at Magical Mouse Travel for your travel needs. And please, you guys, if you love to be entertained and if you love to read, and I will say, if you're like not a huge reader yourself, my books are designed to be accessible, and just because they're real short chapters and they're exciting. I try to hook you and get you to keep reading. So please check those out as well. MrMichaels.com. The many works of J.B. Michaels, or just Google J.B. Michaels. I'll pop up. But yeah, anything else to add, Ash, before we go?
No.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest. See you later.